Automation is hard, but not if you have the right tool. So at work, I have been trying to get some time back in my day, and everyone I talk to says the way to do that is through automations. Specifically using automation tools like Zapier to handle repetitive tasks automatically. And when I look online, it seems like people are doing amazing things with Zapier, but when I load it up, I can never get it to work that way. But today, I am giving it all I've got. In this video, we're gonna go through Zapier's pros and cons and check out some other automation tools that might be coming for the crown. Plus, we're gonna see how AI is transforming these tools and automating your workflows with zero setup. Let's get it poppin'. So, at work, whenever we get a potential client, we always want to put them into both our Zoom contacts and our CRM so that we can reach them with any follow-up email campaigns or meetings. Now, my colleague has an automation set up that enables him to pull the LinkedIn contact information for whatever client we have automatically into our CRM and into his Zoom contacts. So I want to create something similar using Zapier. So getting into Zapier now on the computer, I've actually loaded some test accounts that I made because my actual work requires admin privileges to even be able to connect Zapier with it at all, which is kind of frustrating. It feels like a little bit of red tape, but what can you do? So it has this AI builder, so I'm just gonna go ahead and type in what I want it to build. So I'm saying when I find a potential client on LinkedIn, add their info to my monday.com CRM and my Zoom contacts. Let's see what it does. Okay, so I'm looking at the steps below and it looks like it's giving me the option to pull from LinkedIn ads, like if we had a form running through an advertisement on LinkedIn, which is not necessarily what I want. I was sort of hoping for like a solution where I like click a button on the LinkedIn page and it just like automatically zoops all the information in. So I'm gonna see if I can come in and make that happen here, but I just don't really see that sort of like trigger in the first step. So let's see what the other steps are. Create item. I'm looking to create a contact and I'm genuinely like not sure if an item is transferable to a contact within monday.com, but either way, I'm trying to make this just like step 1 to step like 3, just like automatically go. So I think what I need to do is I just need to get in here and I need to build it out a little bit and adjust. So let's look at this first one, see if we can find anything else. It's saying I have to plug in an account through Zapier, like sign into my LinkedIn account through Zapier, but I am signed in to my LinkedIn account in Zapier and it's not showing up here. It is expecting me to have a lead form here, but what if instead we looked at trigger? Okay, don't know how to get that one to work, unfortunately. Maybe I can start with some other parts of this form, creating an account in monday.com. Yeah, okay, so this is working a little bit better. There is a contacts board right here that I can go ahead and import it into, which is great. Let's just enter some additional information. So group ID, that's fine. And I think this is fine. Okay, so I think the monday.com stuff is working as we want it to. And then the Zoom part, it's giving me the option to create a meeting registrant, which is actually not what I want. I just want to create a contact, but it's sort of requiring me to find like a meeting to put this person into. And I don't know how to fix that. Let's see, change. No, this is just giving me like options to change. Okay, I could keep trying to make this work, but even knowing what all of these events are, let alone getting them to trigger properly, I think is too much for me in this moment. The other issue is that these automations will just run and run once I turn them on. So if I set this up wrong, I'm worried about messing up my data in my CRM, which is pretty important because it's my work CRM. And listen, if what you're seeing looks doable for you, please do this. It's obviously a very powerful tool that can get a lot of stuff done. And I have seen people do great things, so I'm just not sure where my confusion is coming from. At a later time, I could probably look up some tutorials to figure it out. But the point here with the activity I'm doing right now is to save time, so this kind of feels like diminishing returns. So I'm gonna move on to an alternative. So instead of working with Zapier for this, we're gonna work with Magical, which is the web's leading no-build automation app. And I have actually used Magical for other purposes before, but I think it can really work for what we have going on here. Maybe the coolest thing about Magical is that it's actually not a site at all or an independent app. It's actually a browser extension that connects right into your Google Chrome so that you can use it from whatever web page you're on. So I'm on this LinkedIn page and I want to get this contact info into my CRM and my Zoom contacts. So if I hit this little green button over here on the side, this is how Magical shows up in your browser. It's going to be picking up up the tabs that I have open. So if I click this second automation here, it is going to drop all of the information into my CRM. So I have a test form up over here that I'm using sort of in place of my CRM for the purposes of this video, because of course my CRM is full of private data. But if we go back to LinkedIn and then click this automation that I've set up, boom, it will automatically run the automation and port Claire's info into my new candidate form. Ta-da! I am seeing actually though, like I need to contact this person and it didn't give me any contact information. So let me just like click on and see what's going on. Oh, look at this. Okay, so it is actually able to pull her email from the CRM. I just had to click an extra button. So you can see here, it has smartly printed the full name, email, company, title from the LinkedIn page. And now I can add her as a contact into my CRM, which is great. Okay, so now I want to do the same thing with my Zoom contacts. So I'm gonna go back to LinkedIn and back to the magical panel. And I also have this nifty automation here that when I click on it, it should just upload automatically, into my Zoom contact form that I had open in the next tab. Now I can click save and this contact is in both places so I can get it wherever I need it. With Magical, I can actually choose when I want the automation to run, which means I have a lot more control over what I'm actually importing and nothing gets like automatically imported that I don't want in my CRM or in my Zoom contacts. So this is perfect for my use case. Finally, I want to show off another alternative, which is if this, then that. They have this huge snazzy directory of all of their automations, but what I'm realizing as I take a closer look at this is that this platform isn't really built for work in the same way. Really, these are more for personal tasks and home automations, and I don't think Monday.com is supported at all. Let's check services. Yeah, it looks like Monday.com isn't on this page at all, and that is where I do most of my work. So probably not a solution for work, but let's check out Zoom, which is all the way at the bottom of this very long list. Okay, this is definitely supported, but it's stuff like pause your Roomba before joining a Zoom meeting, which is really cool. I mean, if I had a Roomba, I would definitely want it to pause before I went on a meeting, but this is not really what I'm trying to do here. I do use Weather Underground though. It is my weather app of choice. So let's check out a few of these automations. So it looks like this one will notify me if it's gonna rain tomorrow, which is super helpful. So I remember to bring an umbrella on my morning commute. I live in Southern California, which means it almost never rains, but that also means when it does rain, I am never prepared. And I walk to the bus every morning, so I do need to be prepared if it's gonna rain. So clicking in, the setup is similar to Zapier, the sort of card interface, but each card as I click into it is way simpler and I don't have to do any fancy setup, which is great. This is the other one I liked. It lets you take pictures of your receipts on your phone and compiles them into a weekly email for you, which is super useful for tracking your expenses and all that kind of stuff. And you can see new photo, then weekly digest email, and then you can do your finances easy as pie. You never lose another dollar. Don't include that. So I'd love to use if this then that more thoroughly, but it does look like both of these send notifications to their mobile app, which is okay, but I'm really more of a desktop person, so I'd rather have something here on my computer. I think that's why Magical clicked with me a little bit better, because I spend like 90% of my time doing stuff in my web browser. But if you need more phone and at-home appliance-centric solutions, this would be a really good tool to use. So I had planned on crowning a winner here, but it really seems like the best automation tool for you, unsurprisingly, might depend on what you're working on. No question, Zapier is the most fully functional tool that I tried, but it is also really technical. If this then that is really only for connecting your work and personal stuff, but it does do that pretty seamlessly. Magical is the simplest and most lightweight solution thanks to all the AI features, and it makes sense if you do most of your work in your web browser. If you want to check out Magical AI for all of your email and automation needs, do so in the link in the description box below. It's totally free to try and it will save you tons of time. And I'm sure there are automation tools that you guys know about that I have never tried. So drop them in the comments down below and maybe we'll talk about them in a future video. See you guys in the next one. Bye.